Hey guys, this is Sketchmonkey here and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a little bit of a different topic. It's going to be about career choices and the choices I made and what I would say to my 20-year-old self if I had the opportunity to sit down with my 20-year-old self and talk about what direction you should be focusing on. Now, this video is not going to relate to everybody. For example, if you're currently happy with where you are and you have a clear path of where you want to go and you know 100% that that is what you want to do, then this video is not for you, because then you have that part figured out and you're really lucky if that is you. But if you're like me, so I wanted to be, as many of you know, a designer since I was probably 8 or 10 or something like that. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a car designer. So that was my entire mentality. My focus was on to get into industrial design, which I did, a bachelor degree in Sweden. And then I studied a master's degree in Italy, which was very expensive, by the way, and something that I wish I could undo completely, to be honest. I did have a lot of great experiences there, but nothing that helped me move along in the career path that I wanted to go in. Because as it turned out, after that master's degree, I finally realized that car design is not something that I want to do, and I've made videos on this before, which you can go and check out. But all this corporate way of living or growing up, you have this set way of how you're supposed to make your choices, from kindergarten then to high school all the way to college, and then you're supposed to go get a job and you're supposed to be happy with that. That's what you do. But for me, that was the path that I was aiming in following, and I did, up until the point where I actually got the dream job, my vision that I've had in my mind since I was a little kid. All of a sudden, all that came into reality. I had my dream job. My dream was to just sit and sketch cool stuff next to the beach, and that happened in 2012. But if we have this opportunity here, if you're like me, you still work at a job that might be what you thought you wanted to do, but you still feel like you have something more to give. There's something else that you want to do, and you maybe feel like I do, like you're wasting your time. That was the key problem for me, was that I felt like I was wasting my time and I wasn't using all my potential, if that makes sense. I was making concepts and designs for clients, but I was working a 9 to 5. If someone else decided my hours, someone else decided what I was worth, and this just didn't sit well with me. I knew that from an early age, I knew I wanted to build something on my own. I always had this fire to create something, but up until this point, I always put all that effort into someone picking me by applications, and I worked so hard for someone else to pick me and hire me for their services, instead of what I wish I would have done way earlier, like when I was 18, 20 years old, before even bachelor in industrial design. If I could go back to being 20 years old, what I would do is focus on your talents. And today, in today's world, I think even today compared to 2010 or something like that, this is even more relevant now with social media having exploded as it has. We have such a great opportunity to build our online presence and use our talents and skills to solve problems for other people. Maybe not just solve problems and stuff like that, but you can also use it to entertain other people and build something for yourself. This was the switch that I made in 2016. And now when I think about it, I'm 35 years old, which sounds crazy just saying it out loud, because when I was a kid, I think everybody thought like this, that everybody older than say 20 were just grown-ups and old. That's what, like, they all fit in the same category of grown-up people. So 20 plus, you were old, and you were a grown-up. But now when I'm 35, I think this is always going to be the case. You're never really going to feel your age. I feel like I could be 20 or 25, not 20, but 25. Definitely. My mental state when I was 20 was all over the place, had no idea what was going on. But 25, I still feel like I'm 25. But being 35 now, I'm so happy that I made this decision for myself. And I want to make this video because this is the video that I wish I would have watched when I was 20 to 25. Someone telling me that there is an option for the traditional career path where everything has its limits. So you have a limit, you're trading your time for money, and that's the problem. It's not scalable. You can't, you're always going to hit a ceiling of what you can do within an organization that's not your own organization or your own business. And that's what I think felt for me, that I want to put all that effort in that I'm right now in a corporate world putting into building someone else's business. I want to put all that effort and energy and fire into building something for myself. That's when I created the Sketch Monkey in 2014, I think. And then in 2016, I came across a Shopify tutorial on how to build your own stores. So I built my e-commerce stores. I was sitting, it's so funny. When I was working as a designer, I felt like I was wasting so much time. So every single day, I brought my laptop to work. So I had my tablet here. I was sketching the concepts for work. When I was done with that and I felt like I had dead time, I just switched over to the laptop and built my e-commerce business throughout those years. These were 2 years when I was working on my e-commerce business. So I launched the e-commerce business in 2016 and I sold it in December of 2020, which was, yeah, just 2 months ago. So I built that business on the side. Like I had the laptop right next to me when I was working as a designer, and at the same time building this other business, because I felt like I have to do something else with my time, because as I said, I felt like I was wasting so much time working in that company. And on top of that, I had a lot of fun making my YouTube videos, YouTube tutorials, sketching, and connecting with other people like yourself who enjoyed the sketching videos and loved the tutorials and started to learn to sketch from my videos. That was a really fun and exciting time. And since then, the channel has, of course, evolved into other things. You can still find all the sketching videos and tutorials on the Sketch Monkey channel if you're interested in going back and having a look at that. But the point here is I want to open up the minds, as I've said before, just open up the minds to what is possible with what you already have in your mind, in your skill set. You can use those skill sets. If you feel like nobody is picking you, you feel like it's impossible to maybe get a job or something, then use the skills that you have and create and build something on your own. It can be a YouTube channel, it can be going to YouTube and just checking out how to create an e-commerce store, which I did and sold it. Just do something, because there's so many possibilities today with social media to get your word out and to inspire others, and maybe what you do will inspire and motivate others to take action and build something for themselves that then will help a lot of other people, their family and so on, from what they're building. So in the end, what I would do differently if I was 20 years old, I wish I would have just continued with YouTube, and I wish I would have started building these kind of online e-commerce businesses way sooner than when I was 30, because if I'm honest, the bachelor degree, diploma, and the master's degree that I have never once used them for anything in my professional or corporate world. Nobody has ever even asked to see my diplomas. Nobody. Can you just think about that for a second? I paid a lot of money for my master's degree in car design, for example. Now, if I were to go into car design, I'm sure they want to have some sort of record that you've been studying car design. But for industrial design and all the other design jobs that I've had, nobody has ever asked to see proof that I have a bachelor in industrial design or a master's degree in automotive design before I was hired. It was simply like this. I went to interviews, and you talk about what you can offer the company with your services and skills, and boom, then either they like what you have to say or not. It's either yes or no, and most of the cases I was introduced by friends of mine to these companies, and they hired me on the spot without having to look at any resumes or diplomas or stuff like that. So to finish this up, what I would do is create, if I was 20 years old, create a YouTube channel, keep going with the YouTube channel, build some online businesses, have fun, explore with what you know. Always keep learning and keep traveling the world like I did when I was that age, and I still do today. Not to the extent this year because of some restrictions currently going on, but usually I do love to travel. So travel the world, build businesses, and focus on building things yourself that you know people will appreciate. And don't focus so much on other people choosing you. Make sure you put in the effort and focus on your skills and what you're good at. So instead of other people picking you, you're picking yourself. So I hope that was useful to you in some way. I know I probably went on some tangents here and there because I don't have a script for what I wanted to say in this video. It's just to kind of maybe give you some ideas on what you can do when, for example, you're waiting on an application or something, or an answer or a reply from somewhere where you've applied to, and in the meantime, or if you're sick of your job, you have so many opportunities to build stuff online today. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.